This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. May God be with you all.
What's up, dirty plant hoes and all you dirty plant enthusiasts out there? It is I, Rachel, your plant madam, and today is all about how I prepare for a purge, or how you could potentially prepare for a purge. Let's start out with the definition of a purge. It's just basically like a sale. You're just selling plants. It's just, I have a ton of plants and I need to purge them, I need to get rid of them. So that's just really what purge means. I got familiarized with the word purge when I was visiting Facebook groups and things like that. Not everything that I do to get ready for a purge is something that someone else does to get ready for a purge, and if you do things differently, that's okay. Some of this preparation has been done weeks ahead of time, so I'm not going to be able to show you all that, but I'm going to also do some work ahead preparation for the next month's purge also, so you kind of get an idea of like how I do it. And if you're just here because you're curious and want to see what my top tier membership for this channel's members in their Dirty Plant Hoe plant purges, you can just look, you can be a looky-loo too, that's okay. Okay, so there are tons and tons of things that go into quote unquote being ready for a purge, okay? Look past all of the really ugly leaves on my esmeraldines. We've already talked about it, okay? We've already talked about it. They look like shit, okay? This is my Monstera adansonii subspecies blanchettii. It's been growing up my wall, and it's growing up like with extreme prejudice. So I had to actually peel it off. But anyways, this is more of like the plant preparation side of it. You also have to be familiar with how you're going to ship the plants, what courier you're going to use to ship your plants, what you're going to charge for shipping your plants. But this is more of just like the cycle of preparing plants for not only this purge, but also next month's purge. So it kind of just goes where sometimes I sell cuttings like this. I'm probably going to sell this because I feel like it's a hardy enough grower that it could definitely handle being sold as a cutting. I've made some mistakes in the past. I'm sure not every cutting I've sold has survived, but I'm trying to do a lot more rooting of things. So if you're curious of how I do this air layering here, you can go check out one of my previous videos. I'll leave a card here where I talk about really fast rooting on aeroids with air layering. And so this has been on here for about, I would say 3 weeks, maybe 4, because the first 2 weeks that we had it on there, the air layering didn't quote unquote take off just yet, so we left it on there for a little bit longer. This is me like pulling up the pantyhose, as it were, of that air layering so that I could get that back there to make the cut. This is a Monstera albo, and this, I took a picture of this later on and I put it in the Facebook group to tease everybody with and let them know this is something that's coming up. So they've already seen this one in particular, but I'm going to call this one rooted because it's got quite a bit of aerial root growth going on in this spag bag. It's absolutely gorgeous, so that's definitely going into the purge. Now, seeing as how me and Casey are both running around here with undiagnosed ADHD, I do my best to keep track of what needs air layering and what doesn't. Casey said he's going to be taking that over for me. He's supposed to be air layering more of the Splendid right here. We also air layered this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I figured out I wasn't going to be able to use my scissors. This thing is gigantic, so I went and got my big butcher's knife to cut this one. And this top cutting for this Splendid, we did have some problems with a little bit of nutrient lockout with it in Casey's hydroponic system, so we went ahead and pulled it out. The new growth is already completely recovered. Either way, Casey released custody back to me, so now I'm back to being the mom of this giant Splendid, and the first thing I do is I'm taking a top cutting from my house.
This is a Esmeraldense. I guess I'm just like sour on my Esmeraldenses right now because I'm still butthurt over the whole thrips issue and it kind of tearing up my shit. And then on top of that, every freaking new leaf that all of these Esmeraldenses are putting out, they're all breaking their own necks. And I'm just, it's time for other people to get perfect leaves on these bitches because I apparently, whatever, it's come and gone for me because your girl can't manage at this point with the Esmeraldenses. So this is a gorgeous top cutting though, and I'm pretty sure that I have the wide form of the Esmeraldense. Like I can't tell, like even on my super tall one, when I do comparison pictures, I can't really tell. This right here, I'm probably also going to sell as just a cutting because these, in my experience, and I'm pretty sure in Dirty Plant Hose experiences, they root really well. So here are some things that are not some fresh cuts. Here are some cuts that I took after my last purge and I put into a prop box. If you guys are interested in watching videos on prop boxes, you should go check out Harley G's channel. She's got tons of videos on prop boxes, and plus I think she has more prop boxes than anybody, you know what I mean? So this is what I do. These are some beautiful plants that I've been growing in here. I wanted more fully rooted things to bring to the purges. I have to fight against my ADHD to make that happen, but I made it happen this time. So I've got several rooted varicosums, variegated heartleafs and things like that. So the first thing I do is I get my moist spag ready. I get some cups ready because I'm going to be taking out these chunks of rooted plants and I'm just going to place them very, very gently into these cups. Like, I don't want to be rough with it. I'm not going to be spag stuffing. I'm not going to be like jamming it down in there during any of this process. Basically, there's going to be plenty of moisture and humidity because these plants that I'm transferring from the propagation tote, okay, the prop tote, I'm going to be transferring over to a different tote. So they're not leaving that. I'm having a rough go of it there. Apparently, they're not leaving the high humidity Tupperware environment. They're just moving where their little butts are going, So I didn't actually mean to pull all the spag off of this one. It just kind of fell off, So I'm very gently cradling the new root growth and placing it in the cup. I don't like getting all too handsy and really jacking it up. So by the way, this variegated heartleaf is stunning. It's got 3 half moon leaves on it. I get your life. This one is gorgeous, and I've got some other ones. Like my tent update is coming up the last week of this month, and you guys, I cannot freaking wait to show you my tent update. I know someone said in the community tab that they were still interested to see a tent update, and I do have it planned. It's on this schedule. I wanted to get as much growth in there as possible, obviously, before I show you guys again. But things are looking so good. I am so grateful, so freaking grateful for that Spider Farmer tent and the fact that it has totally just upped my anthurium game to a whole new level. I'm super stoked about it. So this right here is a varicosum, and I grew it from a stick. So if you can see the stick that's kind of partially sticking out in the front there, facing towards you, that's all it was. It was just a stick, and I stuck it in the prop box. So that's actually been growing for a long time. So that's probably a 2-month prop box varicosum there, just straight from sticks. Sometimes I get runners on my varicosum, and instead of waiting for it to put out a new leaf, like at the end of the runner, I'll just cut all the nodes down. In my experience, varicosum are so good at rooting from individual nodes, as long as you're doing it like in your own house, if you're cutting your own plant and rooting it there. But always, if you're buying a varicosum, I would get more than one node, because it seems like if they've had any opportunity to dry out in the stick form, like on its way to you, it's a really hard go of it to try to like chunk it back up again. I think it's really important to retain the amount of moisture that's in the stick. Yeah, so that's why I like big fat sticks, I think, or chunks or whatever, travel better than skinny ones. Obviously, less moisture, less ability to retain the moisture. So that varicosum was also grown from just a stick. I think it's poking out the front. Yeah, it's poking out where my finger is right there. So these have been growing in here for a long time. I've been babying these for a really long time, waiting for this opportunity to do a purge. And I'm really excited because I needed to make room in these totes for new stuff. And I've just been like, you know, puttering around and looking at what I can cut and what I can't cut. And to be honest with you, last month's purge was kind of really big, and there wasn't a shit ton to choose from. This month, I've got my first anthurium that I'm going to be selling on this purge. It's the top cutting from a flavolineatum. And I'm not even, let me take that back. I'm not even sure yet if I'm going to sell the top part. I may sell the bottom rooted part. Actually, I think that is what I'm going to do, because I don't think I can wait that long to have another one. But it's just slow goes it. I'm not the best with anthurium propagations or anthurium, blooms and inflorescences, and getting them to turn into infructescences. I'm not the best, but I'm trying like so hard, you guys, and I'm learning a lot. And I'm in the if you guys are on Facebook ever, which I'm barely ever on it. I don't even know why I talk about Facebook so much. I think it's because I have a Facebook group which brings me to Facebook, but if I didn't have a Facebook group, I wouldn't really be on it. But there are some groups called like anthurium enthusiast and philodendron enthusiasts and things like that. And if you get into those Facebook groups, you can really, really, really learn a lot just from, and not from people's arguments, because you ain't going to learn shit from that. You're just going to leave that situation confused as when you went in. But when people post about things that they've learned or trial and error experiences, you can learn a lot from just reading people's experiences in different parts of the world. I love reading the comment sections, especially in the anthurium enthusiasts like Facebook group, because they just have, it's so fucking valuable. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how many things I have just stumbled upon solutions in that place and been like, oh, well, that's probably why my begonias are melting, or that's probably why this or that, because I'm in begonia groups too, so, and every once in a while Facebook will be like, you need to look at what's going on in these groups, and then I'll get intrigued because they're talking about shit. This is I've been talking this whole fucking time. This is my begonia amphioxus. The begonia before that is called I don't have the tag right next to me anymore. I'll put it, I don't know. I can't even remember. It's another begonia that I took some clippings of last week. Ludwigii? Not Ludwigii. I'm tripping. Anyways, the amphioxus, if you guys are interested in more information about the one that I'm actually holding, Trojan King. Is it Trojan King or Trojan Viking? I can't remember, but he has a great IGTV video that's super recent right now about the begonia amphioxus, and I loved it. And he was talking about the red dots make it appear like it's toxic out in nature, and I thought that was a really interesting, hydrate bitch. I thought that was a really interesting point that he brought up, like, how some frogs will look like they're toxic because of the way that they're marked, and it's weird how the amphioxus does look a lot like that. So food for thought, bitch. Anyways, okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm taking all of the plants that have been in the prop box and then have been transferred into their own little, cups, pots, whatever you will, and I'm transferring them over into a completely empty tote that I'm going to know from here on out is for my purge. Now, I'm getting the plants used to being in their own environment, free from the network, from the internet of the spag moss. I am guaranteeing like over the next 4 or 5 days that none of these plants are going to fail for any reason, that the leaf yellowing is not going to occur because of a little bit of transplant. This is also the portion of the purge process where I take all these plants individually and I look them over for pests and I treat them regardless of whether or not I find anything. So that's after this process. So this one right here is a Cissus discolor, and I'm not sure if that's even going to make it, you guys. I've never propagated one successfully. This is like my 3rd or 4th attempt. God knows how many times I've tried to do this. They are so fussy. And I'm also scared to death that if I do ship this, that it's just not going to make it to where it's going. So we'll see. We'll see on that one. Here is a Scindapsus Silver Lady, and for some reason the top portion of that cutting rooted and the bottom portion did not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the portion that did root free from the portion that didn't, and I'm going to just pot it up all by itself. I kind of hate it when my cuttings are like this small, and I've also tried to take multiple cuttings and like pot them up together. You know, still learning. I don't know everything by far. You know, this is actually just, I think we're coming into my 2nd year of selling plants ever. So if you want like really, 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 really valuable information, you can always go to places like Gabriella's Plants, Steve's Leaves. I mean, they've been shipping plants from, it seems like the beginning of freaking time. Dinosaurs over there. Dinosaurs. So I'm going to take this other part of this Scindapsus Silver Lady, and I'm just going to stick it right back in the pot box. This was exciting, you guys. Remember back in the day when my philodendron luxurians got fucked up by some thrips. So I had to cut it all down, and it had some big ass beautiful leaves on it too, you guys. It was so devastating. But anyways, I had to cut it down. The top cutting is in water right now, and just like it's on life support. It's in ICU. It's barely holding on. It's got like this teeny little aerial root that's popping out, and that's it. Like, it's not having it. But this is like a little mid-stem cutting, like just a chunk that I cut off like the centerpiece, and it's freaking growing. So that is like a little philodendron luxurians teeny chunk that's fully rooted and growing. I was really excited about that. This is a philodendron majestic. I took this cutting immediately mid-stem. This is a mid-stem cutting that I rooted last purge. I sold a top cutting from one of the majestics that I got, and this was the next cutting down from that, and I rooted it, and now it's got a fresh, beautiful, the new leaves on a Philo Majestic are phenomenal, you guys. This plant is quickly, and I do mean quickly, becoming one of my favorites in the grow tent. The sheen off of one of those new leaves, y'all, it's something. It's something to behold. So this is a little Epiprimnum pinnatum variegatum, and this is just like a teeny little side shoot thing that I stuck in a cup of water, also in the tote. Don't know why, but it rooted up really nice, so I'm just sticking it in a little cuppy poo. I don't think I'm going to be selling this one on the next purge. I would like to get at least a couple of more leaves, a couple of new fresh leaves coming out before I sell it, but it's going to go in the tote. And you see, whatever I don't sell or whatever is not ready to sell from this month's purge will be rolled over into next month's purge. And typically the idea, or what has been the idea, is that if plants don't sell for me in my Dirty Plant Hoe purge group, then I will take those plants and I will either sell them on Instagram or some other platform. But I like to give my Dirty Plant Hoes first dibs. That's what they pay for. Technically, I would like to think that people just want to support heart-shaped leaves like the channel, and then second of all, you get the lives, which is once a month with me and Casey. We try to do giveaways as often as possible. And then there is the purges, because I'm not a greenhouse. I'm obviously not going to have the kind of production that a greenhouse can have. It's my personal private collection. It's never going to be a huge ordeal. So if you are interested for some reason in becoming a Dirty Plant Hoe, a channel member, and getting involved in these purges, just know that, it's about 15 plants. So I think I've done 20 before, but that's about it. You know what I mean? This is a personal collection purge, and I do the best that I can to offer something nice, not your everyday Lowe's things. I try to offer things that have beautiful leaves and are well taken care of. I'm very gentle with my collection, and I do my best, to make sure that everything is well taken care of, and I do my best. So I added a little water in there. I think that one felt a little dry. Here is the tote that is full of all of the plants that I have relocated. So some of those things aren't going to stay in there. They're a little too tall, but I just wanted to show you like the grouping of things that I had. This is also not everything. I was just recording this portion of what I was doing. There's another tote that I need to go through and collect some things out of, but that's about it. I mean, next after this process comes photography. So I suck at all things photography. Just saying it out loud. But I am also cheap bitch on some things. So I don't want to buy a light box. So what I went and got was giving you guys a hack. I went and got a tri-fold white poster board from Walmart. And I had 2 of them, one to put on the bottom and one to put on the top. But somebody named Winston pissed on it, and I had to toss it out. Isn't that sweet? So I'm just adding some white pieces of computer paper so that we get some reflection of light back up towards whatever I'm trying to take pictures of. This is so ridiculous, I'm even trying to do it. I'm doing it for you, basically, just so you won't make fun of me. But yeah, and then I just hold it up, and it's kind of a pain in the ass because sometimes plants are big and my arms aren't very long, so it's really hard to capture like all of it, like you gotta squat and stretch and squat and stretch and squat, but this is like the easy part, technically. The shipping part, I would say, is the hard and most nerve racking time is the shipping time. Is it going to make it? Is UPS going to get there? Is USPS going to get there? It's just, look at me, stretch, bitch, stretch it out. It's so hard to get a good shot, so hard. And then I actually have a studio light that's pointing right out that, but you can't even tell because my whole house is like a freaking dungeon. So what I do is I'll go after in the photo and I will edit light only. Okay, it's important that you don't go into your photos from a plant that you're selling and mess with saturation or hue or color or anything like that. You don't want to mess with the natural colors, but I always bring up the light because otherwise you're just going to be looking at a dark, dingy ass photo because it's so dark in my house and I can't help it. So, but anyways, I hope you guys learned at least a little something from today's video. I didn't like the way that picture came out because I could see the bottom, so I'm just propping it up. But anyways, I hope you guys really liked this video. I hope you learned at least something while you were here today. If you have any questions or if you need to know any more information, be sure and leave it in the comments section down below. I have a great community who is very knowledgeable and they will be willing to help you out if for some reason I don't see your comments. So that's it. Thank you guys so much, and purge on, motherfucker.
If you like today's content, be sure and leave it a like down below and leave me a comment of a little bitty teddy bear if you really love me. Happy purging, kiddos. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. Later, taters. Bye. And now I would like to start off by saying a big thank you to all my dirty plant enthusiasts out there.
Nadinsky, 7 Puggies, Cindy C, Abby Gilbert, Ace Cadet, Alexandra Chilton, Paul Fallon's Franz, Always Propagating, Amanda Davila, Amy Adwan, Ashley Caraveo, Ashley Sexton, A Warm Wind, Bailey Barnett, Barbara Lindbergh, Bougie Panda, Bryn, Carly Grinnell, Casey Dillon, Casey Glidewell, Chamomile Camille, Colleen Hatton, Corey Traxler, Crazy Plant Lady, Cuties with Cardi, Daniel Holt, Darren Hebel, David Sawyer, Diandra Bellaros, Ellen Louise Pasco, Emily Kingsley, Ellen Roche, Felicia Yeager, Fenner Lamb, Fiona, Fredo79, Goncalo Martins, Gretchen Ward, Haley Hetrick, Haley Martin, Haley Kester, Hannah Gould, Harper Gray, Heather Summers, Heidi Christofferson, Hells Bells, Holy Coley, Houseplanty Goodness, Hunter Jolly, Jamie Ellis, Jake Rowe, J.S., Jenna Maria, Jennifer Girolametto, Jess Marvel, Jessica Viola, Joseph L. Simmons V, Cassandra Hines, Kathy W., Katrin, Kaylee Logan, Kelly Hodgson, Kim Toby, Kimberly Mossman, Not Dude, Christy Bem, Crystal T, Kaya Hauser, Kaylin Cooper, Lauren Loves Leaves, Leah Tarbuck, Life's a Garden, Lilac Moore, Lillian Morin, Lisa Nolan, Lola Isabel, Louise H, Lulu's Leaves, Maggie Davis, Mackenzie Hogarth, Mara Baker, Maureen W, Megan Moyna, Meeks, Megan Lilly, Mev H, Michaela Rags, Michelle A, Michelle Meckel, Michelle Watts, Monica Allison, Nicole Rohrer, Nikki Toller, Ordinary Plant Girl, Pam's Pretty Plants, Peanuts Plants, Rachel Morale, Rachel Sharp, Rhea Shields, Ricky Molbeck, Reese's Roots, Safia Bahadir, Sarah Santos, Sarah, Seth Miller, Showers ASMR, Sophie Botting, Steph Miller, Stephanie Bazella, Stephanie Menzies, Tanya Houtsaker, Tara Christensen, Taylor Kaysen, T, Tiffany Wright, Trent Grolmus, Tyler Kersey, Verdigris Dreams, Vernie Zoo, Victoria Fonseca, Wesley Lemontino, and Yadira Z. And now a big, huge, nasty, dirty shout out to all my big, huge monthly supporters, my Dirty Plant hoes who get to enjoy our monthly live chats and also our Dirty Plant Hoe Purge group on Facebook. Danny Ryan, Abby Rupp, Alexandra Kennedy, Allie Wells, Allison Havens, Alyssa Braden, Amy Baxter, Andrew Wolf, Anna D, April, Showers, Buy Me Flowers, Ariel Roots, Arlisa B, Ashley Kathleen, Aubrey Puff, Botanicas, C. Woe, Caitlin Christie, Cassidy Walker, Chelsea Clifton, Chrissy Spencer, Christina Kuntz, Christy Stewart, Sierra Jones, Danny Sprague, Deanne Santos, Denise Tomer, Diana Warner, Donna, Dorkalicious, Ellen Hoover, Emily Cephalou, Emily Forhay, Emma LaCroix, Emma Wiley, Florence Ramirez, Gab, Gina the Great, Haley Eblin, Haley Stanley, Hazel Foreman, Heather Lamb, Heather Worrell, Hollis Good, Houseplant Heather, Meow, Jasmine Renee, Jedi KCC, Jennifer Rouse, Jenny Vanderbilt, Jessica Stanford, Jill Cunningham, Joanna Meyer, Joanne Hernandez, Caitlin Guavi, Chris, Catherine Sproles, Kayla Taylor, Kelly Smith, Kelly Costello, Kristen Williams, Christy D, Crystalia B, Lana MT, Mary Boots, Mark Strahl, Megan Earls, Megan Gowdy, Melissa Hartog, Melissa Mintz, Michelle G, Mirena, Miss Lisa, Natural State Ashley, Nicholas Caruso, Nikki Grilly, Odd Avocado Tree, Olivia Wise, Oops I Soiled My Planties, Peyton Gold, Pinky from Hot Farms, Plant Friend Down the Street, Simonetta, QR, Rian Chekasang, Rico 9383, Riley Elizabeth, Ren, Root and Leaf, Sammy Joe Ruby, Sarah Schwartz, Sarah J, Shannon Mattingly, Sleazy Wednesday 1, Spotted Oreo 10, Stacy Anderson, Tammy Carroll, Tara Peterson, Terrace Plants, Tropics in the Midwest, Teddy Ruxpin, my favorite bear in the whole wide world, Tara Wolfgang, Tess Botsis, that girl and her dog, the Fiber Circus, the Hatter's Madness, the Plants Channel, Plants Meow, Tracy Buzzle, Tyler Frakes, Valerie, Victoria Olson, Whitney Sales, Wicked Witch Roxy, Will H, Winter Rose, and Yvonne Smith. You are so beautiful. I love you guys so much. I hope that your week has been wonderful. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.